All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. Again, it's been a pleasure to be here with you all today. Noticing some of the changes from 22 years ago to now is pretty amazing. So I'm happy for a lot of you and hopefully for your endeavors as well. Before we get started today, I'd like to thank a few people. Hiding over in the corner is a gentleman by the name of Devin Scott. Devin and I met, I guess, 1996 or so, and he introduced his older children at the time into the martial arts program that I had here at Ferris. And some 20 years later, he had more kids, and he brought those children with us today to do a brief demonstration for you and his lovely wife. So if you can give them a hand, that would be fantastic. Also in attendance with me, somebody that has to put up with a lot that I dish out, is my wife. She has been very instrumental in the start of our martial arts program back home in the Detroit area. So please give her a hand as well. All right, to get started, I have a pretty crazy history in regards to what's taken place in my life and the direction that I've gone since I've been here at Ferris. The great part about it is my experience here at Ferris prepared me for everything I had to deal with and everything to come. So just by a show of hands, for those of you graduating with a communications degree or sports communications degree, how many of you know exactly what it is that you want to do when you leave here? Okay, not bad. Now those of you that did not raise your hand, please don't feel afraid. I had absolutely no idea what in the world I was gonna do with a sports or with a communications degree. I graduated from here in '99, and the first job I took was in marketing and advertising. And I actually worked for a company that owned the professional team that I fought on as a martial artist. Sierra introduced me as a Detroit native. I graduated from Detroit Public Schools, and I grew up in an area, anybody from Detroit? Okay, I grew up in an area of Livernois and Tireman. And having martial arts in our community was not the norm. Basketball was the norm, football was the norm, maybe a little bit of baseball. But having this opportunity was something different in the community that I grew up in. So I had no idea that I would literally see the world and travel and fight just from doing martial arts. When I arrived here in 1995, very few people knew that I did martial arts, but that was also the year that I got my first opportunity to travel abroad. And I earned my first world title in Stuttgart, Germany in '95, fighting in an organization called WACO, which still to this date is one of the largest organizations for kickboxing. We had over 80 nations that I had to work my way through for my division to be able to win. I was a lot lighter at the time. I think I was a grown man at 115 pounds. Some of you look like you came out at 115 pounds. Since then, I've had an opportunity to travel a little bit more. Gdansk, Poland in 1997 was very important to me. It was important because I was still here at the university, and the university sponsored that trip. The university, in collaboration with the Black Greek Council, actually paid for me to go fight in Poland. So that was an amazing experience. When I returned, I had opened my first martial arts program here, which kind of gave me an opportunity to get a little bit of a taste of owning a karate school. What took me so long from '97 until 2010 to open one, I have no idea. But I used to host the programs and classes at every dorm for women's self-defense and fitness kickboxing as well. So after graduation, I took a couple jobs, kind of bounced all over the place. I managed some health gyms, health clubs, and then eventually went into law enforcement. Now, please don't look crazy, because I have absolutely no idea how law enforcement came out of a speech communications degree. But I knew at the time I needed a job, preferably with some benefits. So in 2004, I became a Detroit police officer. And 2007, they did layoffs. Now, in the city of Detroit, I thought it was impossible to get rid of police officers. We needed them so bad, but they didn't have a check. I wasn't going. Right? So once that layoff came around, I went to a couple other agencies and ended up in Highland Park. Highland Park is, I like to say a suburb of Detroit, but it's not. It's 2.9 square miles of an area that's probably a little bit rougher to where I patrolled. I went into narcotics about 2 years into my career and recently did an early retirement as a narcotics detective. During the time that I was working there, I also ran a martial arts school. And then I had 2 shootings as well. So my time during the 2 shootings, I ended up having to work in welfare reform. So I was creating policy for what we would consider our new welfare reform now and training individuals to be job ready. I did that, worked the police department, and ran a karate school for about 2 years. So out of a 24-hour day, I slept for about 4 hours. 20 of it I was working. But I had a vision, in addition to the fact that I like work. My vision was to get me out of that situation a little bit earlier so that I can really enjoy my passion. And that passion is martial arts. So we're gonna start off with the first video.
Move over, Billy Blanks. West Michigan has a karate and kickboxing champ of our own.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
He's Ferris State senior Askia Allison, better known as Ski.
I'm a world champion. I won my first world title in Stuttgart, Germany back in 1995.
And he hasn't stopped winning since. He has trophies and medals from around the country and the world. During the week, Ski goes to class, and on the weekends, he travels all over competing in karate and kickboxing, adding to his trophy case.
Ready and go. Good.
Ski's workout cardio kick is also a big winner in Big Rapids. The workout combines karate and kickboxing with aerobics, and Ski's classes are always crowded.
Everyone's looking for something different to work out with. They're sick of the machines and the regular classes. This provides the opportunity for people to learn some self-defense as well as get a good workout. So you can leave sweating, know that you train good, and learn some techniques to defend yourself if you had to.
Could I conquer the cardio kick challenge? For over 45 minutes, Ski put us through a grueling regimen, mixing good old-fashioned aerobic exercise with martial arts techniques.
Up, jab, cross, jab, up.
Ski says with so many people taking jabs at university life, this class is a positive for everyone.
At a lot of universities, you hear about some of the negative aspects of alcohol, and this class has been a ray of light to show that students do more than just party and drink, and they come here and work out and have a real good time.
Very good. Because I love it. It's great. It makes me feel good when I leave.
And take it from me, it is challenging. Cardio kick will work muscles you didn't even know you had.
That was a great workout. I'm very rubbery.
Juliette Dragus, WZZM 13 News.
You gonna do that?
Yes.
Wow, okay, let me stand back. Wow, that's great. All right, this is something that other people that practice karate, have they picked up on this?
Yes, they try different techniques. Most competitors watch each other and they use different techniques.
One of the only professional karate teams in the entire country.
Close.
Winning is very important. This is what it's all about. This is our hometown.
Tonight, they spar and sweat, preparing for Saturday's international showdown.
The more points we get, the better seed we get for that world championship.
Terrence Alfred and Askia Allison are members of Detroit's professional karate team. It's one of only 2 professional karate teams in the country. Their team is called Simplified Employment Services, or SES Karate Team.
My goal is to make a difference as far as the sport goes.
Richard Plowden is a 5-time world champion.
Work some side kicks, work some side kicks.
He coaches the 12-member team along with the team's future. Along with the SES professional team, close to 300 local students will also be competing this weekend.
I just would like for folks to have an open mind about sport karate. It's really working with the kids, building them from the inside out.
An approach Alfred and Allison have fine-tuned over the years. As pioneers in the professional arena, they're hoping to fill their hometown with pride come Saturday. In Detroit, Meg Oliver, ESPN 50, 10 o'clock news.
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it? Would you Just let it slip. Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, loud. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody better go capture this moment and hope it don't. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. The soul's escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder. Homie grows hotter. He blows. It's all over. It's all on him. Coast to coast shows. He's known as the Globetrotter. Lonely roads. God only knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, 'cause here goes the cold water. He's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows. He knows dove and sold nada. So the soap opera is told. It unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. No more games. I'ma change what you call rage. Tear the roof off like two dogs' cage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right in the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All the pain inside amplified by the fact that I can't get by with my 9 to 5, and I can't provide the right type of life for my family. 'Cause man, these food stamps don't buy diapers, and there's no movie, there's no Mackay Pfeiffer. This is my life, and these times are so hard, and it's getting even harder trying to feed and water my seed. Plus, see this order caught up between being a father and a prima donna. Baby mama drama screaming on her too much for me to wanna stay in one spot. Another damn monotony's gotten me to the point I'm like a snail. I've got to formulate a plot or end up in jail or shot. Success is my only option, failure's not. Mama love you, but this trail has got to go. I cannot.
Once we got going with our martial arts school, we opened a very small one. The first one was in Redford, Michigan, and we outgrew that location and ended up moving to a much larger facility in Livonia. It was on 7 Mile. I think it took us about 2 years for 6 Mile, and then about a year to outgrow the one on 7 Mile before we moved into our current location. So we have been very fortunate to be able to grow all of our programs. Even despite the accomplishments that I've had in the martial arts, it does my heart well to be able to see that the children are doing well. That is my biggest accomplishment for being able to host a martial arts program and the growth of our facility. It had been my goal to be able to bring martial arts to individuals that otherwise would not have been able to have it, in communities where they wouldn't have been able to have it. If you noticed in the video, during that time, about 15 years ago, I was running around from different communities, different facilities, teaching classes in their schools, in their recreation centers before we moved on to opening our own studio. Our next video is for a demonstration that our children had at the Detroit Pistons. 2 years ago, we started a nonprofit organization within the profit portion of our martial arts school, geared towards helping children with ADD, ADHD, mild forms of autism, low-income families, and childhood obesity. If you are looking to do anything recreation related with your sports communication degree, I highly encourage you to look at that. A lot of our children are diagnosed with these issues, and it is very beneficial to have a structured recreation program for them to do. Some of these individuals in this video here will be a part of our demonstration team.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Bulldog Karate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, out of this group, how many of you would like to be self-employed? I'm sorry, let's see those hands. Anybody interested in being self-employed in this group? Just a couple people? Okay. Those of you that don't want to be self-employed, is there any particular reason why? Just one person. Let me know why. Don't all be shy. I'll pick on you. Why wouldn't you want to be self-employed?
I do want to be self-employed.
Oh, you do? Okay, who does not again? You don't? Why not?
I enjoy the aspect of a team environment, everyone like working together.
Could you create that team environment?
Yeah, you could, but I think I need the experience of the team first before I get the experience of going out on my own.
Okay, and that's a good example. Most of us have been conditioned to work for someone. We'll go through education, thinking in terms of what we're going to do to be able to work for, or who we want to work for, what company, what organization. The great part of the experience that I had is that I've worked for municipalities, government, and I've watched it all just kind of fall apart. Layoffs in Detroit. Another department that I went to that came out of receivership went bankrupt. Individuals lost their pensions. And when you think in terms of the comfort to be able to do things on your own, create the culture that you would want to create for yourself, build the team that you want to build for yourself, is nothing more refreshing. I have conversations with some colleagues of mine that own martial arts studios as well, and we have to remind ourselves from time to time, even when things get financially tight. If I work for someone and I want to make some more money, what do I have to wait on to happen? Anybody? Have to wait for a promotion, okay, to get a raise? What else? What else might have to happen in order for me to get more money? Wages going up, promotion, more hours on the job. Okay, controlling this myself gives me an opportunity to take my programming wherever it is I want. I could literally just go meet another person that has a kid, pass out a flyer, invite them to come try the classes, and once they've done that, that is potential revenue immediately. I get that opportunity to direct exactly what it is that I want to do. I was unable to do that until we started an after-school karate program. When I first started the program, I think it's been about 3 years, I had one child in the program. And I would drive this van to pick up this one child at this one school. And I can remember my wife saying, how long are you just gonna keep driving that van and picking up that one kid? And I told her I was gonna do it until we got some more kids. That parent signed up for the commitment, I was gonna do that. And we look back now, 4 vehicles later, 15 to 17 schools that we pick up from. This was the particular reason that I was able to retire early.
Welcome to Metro United Karate, the metro area's best martial arts curriculum. We're located at 16184 Middlebelt Road in Livonia, Michigan, inside of the Concord Plaza with Fit Zone for Women and Domino's Pizza. We offer martial arts classes for ages 3 and up. Our top program, our after-school karate, picks your child up from their school, transports them here to our studio. We provide a snack, 1 hour of homework time with a certified teacher, and an amazing karate program 5 days a week. We also host the nation's best cardio kickboxing workout with over 10 classes a week. Our karate classes are ideal for developing self-discipline, improved focus and grades, with the area's best anti-bully curriculum. Give us a call at 734-744-6121, or feel free to visit us on the web at www.mukarate.com, or you can stop in, take advantage of one of our free trial lessons, or find out any other specials we have to offer. Thank you, and have a great day.
We all have some different things that motivate us. One of my motivators is the intrinsic value of being able to give back to the community. However, that didn't feed my family, move us out of the neighborhood, things of that nature. So I think we all have a little deep down inside, a little bit of a motivator from financial gain, to be able to support your family, travel, do the things that you enjoy doing. That provided that opportunity. I think we went from chasing people down to make their tuition payments to almost generating at the school approximately $250,000 a year. And that has been in about a 6-7 year span. My goal financially in our area is probably to be the first person or the first school to generate $1 million. That's been a challenge because a lot of the community in which I come up from doing martial arts, they were excellent martial artists. They can fight, but they didn't understand the business concept. I think Ferris definitely prepared me for that. The marketing, the advertisement, the experience having a track in the communication program to do the recreation management, that all kind of pointed me in the right direction to be able to market, advertise, and do the things that we need to do to help grow the school. So right now we're going to move on to the 2 students that we have over here, Christian and Madison Scott. Our school is mainly known for fighting, but naturally they're not going to fight each other today. I'm just going to have them do a few basic kicks, and because they're brother and sister, they can save the fighting for home. So if you could just direct your attention over on this side, and I'm going to have them come out and I'll call out a couple techniques for them. Scoot up just a little bit. Right there is perfect. Come to attention. Bow. Sparring stances, right leg and back. Our first kick to get you warmed up will be a front stretch kick. Off your right leg when I count. Ready. 1, 2, 3. Change feet. Off your left leg, inside to outside crescent kick. 1, 2, 3. Change feet. Front leg, your left leg, roundhouse kick. Ready. 1, 2, 3. Next is our spinning hook kick. Spinning hook kick will happen off of your back leg. Ready. 1, 2, 3. Change feet. Last technique for you, front snap kick. Ready. 1, 2, 3. Come to attention. Bow. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a hand. Christian, you're up first. Christian is going to break a board with a reverse punch. Christian, go ahead and put your strong side and back, what hand you prefer to punch with. Your nice tight fist. And your goal for hitting the board is like you're punching through it to punch me in the chest. You'll practice, give it a soft touch. 1, again practice. 2, last one, hit it hard and yell. Very good. Madison, your technique will be an axe kick. Take the leg up nice and high, drop it straight down in between. You get one chance to do it. Go. Very good. Face the audience. Come to attention. Bow. Thank you, guys. Let's set those down over there with Mrs. Allison for me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to open up the floor now for any questions that you may have for myself or the children that performed the demonstration. Yes, sir.
I seen on the video, it didn't really look like he was really trying to take your opponent out. Is that like a thing with karate?
The fighting that you watched there was point fighting. All of those fights were about 20 years ago or so. So in point fighting, all you have to do is make contact with the individual and the judge will stop and award the point to the person that scored or made the contact first.
So when you went to go fight in Poland, was it like that too?
Yes, it was point fighting. I've done some kickboxing. I used to kickbox at the Orbit Room in Grand Rapids back in the day, and I had a televised contract to fight on Chuck Norris's World Combat League. Yep. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
So you just only have like martial arts classes on the west side of Detroit? Because I'm from Detroit too, I'm on the east side part. So you only have on the west side?
Yes, currently our school is only on the west side. There are some other studios that are on the east side that I could recommend you to. Where are you at on the east side?
Over by Outer Drive, Chandler Drive.
Okay, yeah, you deep east. Yeah, okay. Any more? What was that? Oh, okay. No more questions? Everybody has it all planned out for what it is that you want to do when you graduate?
So were you renting out a facility and only had one kid every day?
No. No, we had our martial arts program already. So we had a student body base that was coming in before we started an after-school program. So we already had the facility and a good number of students anyway. The after-school program, because we were picking the kids up Monday through Friday, providing tutoring for them, a snack, then their martial arts class, it replaced Latchkey. So what people were paying monthly for regular karate tuition, they're almost paying per week for the pickup service.
What inspired you to get into like martial arts?
Karate movies. I've been doing martial arts for about 33 years. I was watching karate movies. I bugged my dad to sign me up, and he eventually did it, and I stuck with it.
See, I did the same thing with my mama. She still ain't did it.
But you can do it now yourself.
Yeah, like, I used to like watch Dragon Ball Z and everything. I used to go all the movies.
Yeah, that's it. Just find a local school. Are you getting ready to graduate soon? So there's a karate club here, I believe, in the school for Big Rapids, a club with the university and a Big Rapids school. So go ahead and get started. Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite karate person? Like who's your role model?
My favorite martial arts role model will probably be someone that none of you would know because it's sports specific. But it's a gentleman by the name of Tony Young. He's in Atlanta, Georgia. He was a super lightweight fighter at the time, and he was the only person to have won a grand championship as a super lightweight. So the grand championship means that they take the division winners from each weight class and they fight down to one winner. And he had done that on a couple of occasions, and then the only other person to do that after him was me. Yep. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Yes, I have a black belt, 4th Dan, yes. So 4th Dan black belt, 33 years experience, and 5 world titles.
Your wife is also a black belt?
My wife is also a black belt, yes, that is correct. How long have you been doing classes? Yep. black belt and 20 years experience and a national champion. She actually fights very well, but she just saves it for home now. We used to. I loved it, but then she stopped. Yeah, she won't do that now. And then the kids, we have kids that do martial arts as well.
What's the process to get into black belt?
It's rigorous. We have a variety of different stages for them to go through. For most of the students, it's great because there are different checkpoints, and the different color belts give them an opportunity to reach all of these different short-term goals until they get to black belt. And the two children that just demonstrated, both of them are one step away from being black belts. Yes.
Do you have plans to open other facilities in the future?
Yeah, I don't want to live in Detroit. Don't laugh. I've been there all my life. I'm ready to go. I need some water in my life. I want to go to somebody's coast. I like the Carolinas and or the Florida area. So in about 3 to 4 years, I would like to leave that school to someone that they can kind of gradually buy me out of it month to month and then open up another location. I have been bouncing back and forth between grad school, and I honestly need to finish it up for a master's in criminal justice. So I'll make some determination of what my next direction will be. Have I had any injuries? Oh yeah, man, I get out of bed hurting. Yeah, I've had some injuries, meniscus damage, broken nose, broken toes, knee, you know, all of that. Yes, it's kind of a part of it, but I'm used to it. Anybody else? No more? Oh, all right. Yes.
In terms of owning your own business, are there any pointers you can provide that you wish you would have known when you first started out that you know now?
Oh, well, I could go on and on. If you didn't hear the question, it was in terms of owning my own business, are there any pointers that I would point out now or that I wish I knew before? Confidence, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. A lot of times we get caught up in the how am I going to do it. Sometimes it just really means you just need to take that first step, okay? You don't have to see the whole stairwell to start moving up the steps. A lot of faith goes a long way. And once I finally got started, I think the biggest thing that helped us out was billing. We had maybe about 40 students at our first facility, and I have to realize that everybody does not prioritize the same. They wouldn't pay their bills. I was trying to track them down to get payment. So when we moved on to a billing company and changed the culture of our facility, because that's the part that you can actually control. You can control that culture, and influencing your desires on other individuals becomes paramount. So now the payments are drafted directly out of their account. They know what those expectations are. I had a talk with a gentleman from New York, and I was having a hard time selling the kids their safety gear, the gear that they need to fight. The parents just weren't buying it. They would say, oh, well, Mr. Allison, I can't afford it. And it wasn't very expensive. They just didn't prioritize it. It was not very important to them. So a buddy of mine, Jody, said, well, Ski, look at their shoes. I said, well, what do you mean look at their shoes? He said, no, I got to get off the phone, but real quick, look at their shoes. And students started to come into the school, and I looked down at their shoes. And over the course of 2 days, there were Air Jordans. It was, different pairs of different types of shoes coming in. I have one little kid right now on my subsidized program who comes in a grant, and he matches his polo shirt to his socks and his shoes, a different polo shirt every day. I don't think he's worn the same one twice yet, but the priority was not there for them to pay for the safety gear. It was for these other things that weren't important. So you have to be able to control your environment, let people know what your expectations are, and then be very firm with it. It's a good question. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say that you worked with narcotics in Detroit?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, my dad's a DEA agent. He works in Detroit. I wonder if you know him. His name is Dan Kraus.
Probably by face.
Yeah.
But you know, the narcotics teams in Detroit and Highland Park, there are probably about 20 different teams.
Yeah. I was just wondering because it does like the same thing.
Okay. Nope, I don't think I've met him, but who knows.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. So what would you say are the top 3 characteristics of a business owner should have when dealing with customers and providing customer satisfaction?
Top 3 components for providing customer service or customer satisfaction. The first thing is knowing your value. You know your value, you won't be convinced to do anything less than that. I've had some individuals that I've had to turn away, and it wasn't necessarily a customer service issue. It was that they came in the facility, they decided what it is that they wanted for their children to do martial arts. For example, they wanted them to do karate, but they didn't want them to kick and punch anybody. They didn't want them to get hit. And I had to learn, because before, the old me would have said, oh, well, I need that sign up. I had to learn to let them know that this is not the facility for you. This is the program that we run. This is how we run it. So that first start, again, is controlling your culture and not being scared to let individuals know if they're not a fit. And I learned that a little bit later, but I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and our business won't be everybody's cup of tea. But that's a really good start. Second is doing the things for the right reason. There have been times that I worried about money, and the times that I worried about money, money got further and further away from me. When my focus became what it is that needed to be done, either for the community, no matter what job it was, what business it was, what programming I was doing, when I focused on that stuff, everything else financially just seemed to kind of fall in place. And then lastly, you know, you hear this thing of saying putting the customer first. I believe in that. Now, it's very hard for me, and you may know, if you have to deal with your dad, dealing with individuals with law enforcement experience is pretty challenging. We're used to dealing with what we would probably consider stupid people all day. And then you have to think that you're smart all the time. You have to be able to leave it at home, leave it at work so you don't take it home. It doesn't affect your married life, and at the same time that it doesn't affect your business. So I had to be able to put that side of my life aside and be able to focus on exactly what the individual needs. So when I get a chance to do that, I think we find out that we have happy customers or a happy client base. Anything else?
What's the most effective lesson that you took away from the team at Ferris State?
Time management. Most effective lesson I took from Ferris State was time management. I would not have gotten as far as I am now if I didn't learn how to manage time. And I'm talking from being in school to study time to now how I manage my time with work. Being self-employed, I thought I'd have this free time that I would be able to just wake up in the morning whenever I want, go open to school, and do a handful of things. I find now that I'm actually working now at the school more than I did anything else, even when I held down more than one job at a time. This time is just refreshing, so it's not as hard because it's something that I enjoy doing, but I have to allocate time. This is time for marketing. This is time for retention calls. This is time for curriculum. This is time for training and training staff and things of that nature. So time management was definitely the best thing that I picked up here. Any more? Yes, sir.
How many students do you got now?
We have about 90 students now in total. My goal is 200. 200 students, I would be a happy camper. Yes. Yes, sir.
Would the students mind sharing how their experiences helped them grow?
Sure. Christian and Madison, come on up.
Only if they come.
Test them out. So, did you hear his question?
No.
Okay, go ahead one more time.
How's the experience helped you develop and grow? What's been most impactful for you?
This experience helped me learn and grow because it's not just teaching you about like martial arts, it teaches you discipline too. And over the years passing now, because like
Yeah, you've been at it for a while.
yeah, like this is like my 10th or 9th year. So yeah, discipline really like it impacted me for all those years. So, yeah.
also help you with dance. Your form.
It helped me for other sports that I do, like football, like running programs, self-defense.
All right. That discipline part, you'll hear that a lot in the martial arts program. The parents bring the children in for a variety of different reasons. Some of them need a babysitter to watch them. Some of them are tired of hearing their kids crying when they actually get hit, kicked, or punched. But ultimately, a lot of them love the discipline. I've had parents drop the kids off at the school, and they'll go run to Walmart or do whatever it is that they need to do, and they come back and pick them up. And over a period of time, they'll eventually pop in and actually watch them perform. And then they want to wonder, who is this kid saying yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am? But again, it's part of the culture and the tradition of the martial arts. And so that discipline part goes a long way. So for Ferris, it was time management, but for martial arts, it was definitely discipline for me as well. Any more questions from the back of the room there? What?
Well, time management and discipline kind of intertwine.
Oh, they should. But you'll find that a lot of people have discipline for the things that they want to do. How many of you get an assignment for Dr. Ospa and had plenty of time to do it, but, so the discipline may have kicked in 2 days before it was time to turn it in because you knew you had to do it, but you managed the time poorly. So, yeah, they're kind of close, but, you know, sometimes not. Any other questions? Yes? It is now currently 5 years and up. It was 3-year-olds. My wife used to teach them. Interesting bunch. They were fine though, for you. Yes. No, not for me. 5 years old and up.
With martial arts being all about self-discipline, how do you teach the kids to then again come back in and be a team player in other aspects of life?
Oh, okay. That's creating a culture. These are things that we talk about in class while they're there, while their parents are sitting on the sidelines. Their very first lesson, they come in and they learn to stand at attention. Now, I could just say stand at attention and not explain to them why. But when we're standing at attention, we're showing that we have self-control. So I'll ask the student body, what do you think self-control means? And they'll say standing still. Somebody else might say, well, controlling your actions, your body movement, things of that nature. And then from self-control, we'll talk about integrity. And the example that we use for integrity is doing the right thing even when you think no one's watching. If you guys have ever done any programming in any elementary or middle school, you would have seen this happen all the time. A teacher may have to take a quick step out of the classroom to go see another colleague or to go pick something up from the office. What do you think happens in that classroom? They go crazy. They go absolutely crazy. And that's what the kids say, oh, they go crazy. I said, but you guys don't do it, do you? Oh, no, Mr. Allison, not me. And the martial arts is, the basics for me is teaching them that it's like having a superpower. This discipline, this focus, this self-control, and having integrity are some of the characteristics that we instill from the very first day. So I'll even do drills with them. I'll have my class in front of me, and I'll say, I have to go over here to get some focus pads. And I'm going to trust that you're going to show me that you have integrity. So what is it you're supposed to do? And they'll all scream out, stand at attention and show you have self-control. Great, I'll turn my back. I'll go get the focus pad. Yeah, I might have 1 or 2 kids that, the 5-year-old population that might try to bug out, but most of the time, it's fantastic. And that works because if I'm in a class by myself and there's no other staff or they hadn't made it, and I'm teaching a class and now a customer comes in. So you come in with your son, and I say, give me 1 second, sir, I'll be right with you. And then I have this lesson and I'm talking with the children about it. Everyone stand at attention. What are we showing? They holler out self-control. I need to test your integrity real quick while I go talk to this gentleman. And then you wonder, how in the world did you get 20 kids to stand there at attention quietly? You must put the fear of God in them. But it's just that conditioning. Believe it or not, the hardest part is the flexibility that some of the children get when they get home. We're working with them here and giving them discipline and structure. And at home, for some of our student body, it's complete chaos. We use an analogy comparing it to like getting a fish out of some dirty water, and you clean it up, but then you got to throw it back in the dirty pond when it's done. I have one young man, well, no, we have a couple of them, but one stands out for me. And I can tell him what to do, and he's Johnny on the spot to do it. But his mom comes in, and he literally runs her ragged. She can scream at him. I'll look up, and they'll almost be hitting each other. But it's just no control in that household. So then the lesson that we're teaching on the dojo's floor, we have to try to sneak it over into their household as well. More questions? No? You sure? All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. You've been a great audience.